begin. Hey guys, and welcome back with Kat. I just wanted to say thank you so much if you are a returning viewer. I really do appreciate your support, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope I give you a reason to stick around. I actually just got back from a long trip. We went to Miami, my boyfriend and I, to visit some very special friends, and we also went outside of the country to Colombia to help celebrate them in tying the knot. And we couldn't be any more excited than to celebrate these two lovely friends, and we wish them nothing but a lifetime full of love and happiness. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys a look into our trip, all the different events we partook in celebrating our friends, and most importantly, what we ate since we are on the carnivore diet. I will be honest, I am just an average person, so there will be good times, there will be bad times. I'm just here to be transparent with you and share with you what that looked like and the aftermath. So to take you through time, let me share with you guys a timeline of events, and that'll help me stay organized and have you guys follow along. So let's jump into our first day with our international travels, which was Thursday. Now, Thursday, my boyfriend and I woke up in Miami, and our first mission for the day was to immediately make it to the airport. Now, we don't normally eat breakfast as soon as we wake up. Normally, our first meal will be in the afternoon. So we didn't even think twice about, hey, we should eat something now, and just to fuel ourselves up later for the trip. So we went to the airport with empty stomachs, really wasn't hungry. On our first flight to Bogota, they actually served us sandwiches with coffee and a bag of cookies. I ended up eating the cheese and the deli meat that was in the sandwich, and I gave away my bag of cookies. That was our first leg of the trip. When we made it to Bogota, unfortunately, we missed our connecting flights due to the immigration process. So as we booked our next flight, we really didn't have that much time to exchange our US dollar to the Colombian peso. We really just had enough time to use the restroom and to grab some food to go. On our to-go order, we got bistec. And bistec is basically like a thin cut of Hey guys, if you're still watching this video, I want to say thank you so much for your support. I also invite you to like this video and please subscribe, as this helps the channel grow. All right, back to the video. It's a thin cut of beef. Why can't I talk? And so we took that with us as soon as we received our to-go order and made it straight to our flight. And as we boarded, we immediately sat down and I took out my plastic fork, and believe it or not, it broke before I even took my first bite. So if you can imagine, it's my boyfriend and I sitting down together. We both have our own to-go boxes and we are just using our bare hands to eat. So that was our true first meal of the day. It really wasn't a lot. I can't tell you how big the portion was, but it was enough to tie us over. So when we landed in Cali, finally, we found our transportation and we took the hour drive from the airport to our hotel. So two things that I found out as we were checking in from the receptionist. Number one, any locations that would offer an exchange service was closed, meaning that we are stuck with US dollars and we have no way of exchanging our money. If you're traveling around in Colombia, at least in Cali, from what I can tell you, there are a few places that will accept a credit card, but your best bet in getting around and making any purchases is with cash. The second thing that we discovered was that the hotel restaurant closes at 10 o'clock p.m. We didn't have enough time to stop by the restaurant and order food to go or anything like that. It really was just more of a sit-down experience. We ended up deciding, let's stick with our friends, let's have a good time, and what the heck, we may find a corner store or something like that where we'll be able to get something to eat, right? Like, someone's bound to take a credit card somewhere. So that was our second mistake. Now, our first event of the night, we would be riding on the Chiva Rumbera, and so it's basically a party bus. We got on the bus and we decided to roll the dice and see what would happen. It was a really fun time. There was lights, there was a lot of alcohol, everyone was having fun, and I enjoyed it myself too. Not that this matters to the story, but I actually do not drink alcohol, more of a personal reason for me. I haven't drank in months, and so the last thing I wanted to do since being on this carnivore diet was to introduce alcohol into my system and not have any idea if that would impact me more or less than in the past. So I wasn't gonna roll the dice on that one. We make a couple of stops here and there as the Chiva Rumbera is taking us around Cali as a night tour. We come across some food stands, of course, so close yet so far, as I felt when we were told that they do not accept US dollars and they do not accept credit cards. We did come across a liquor store that offered pork rinds, but the sad thing was it was cooked in vegetable oil, and so we opted out of that. I think it's about midnight at this point, and we just now get off the bus and are making it to a nightclub. And let me tell you, I am not 21 years old anymore. You guys, I was so exhausted at this point, but I think I get kudos for staying up past midnight. We make it to the nightclub, but you guys, I was dead set on finding food. I was so hungry at this point. Now, we were able to, I say, afford this, all because they accepted a credit card. We asked for only salt as our seasoning, and we asked for no sauces at all. So we were golden, right? Wrong. Here we are, each of us with a 12-count chicken wing and it's breaded. That started the breaking point for me. I was hungry, I was tired, and I had to cave in and eat something, or else I wasn't gonna have energy for anything else. Also, I didn't know what time we were gonna be making it back to our hotel, and I didn't know how we were making it back to the hotel. Definitely wasn't on the bus, but with all these unknowns, I just needed to eat. So I did, and I don't feel guilty about it. We end up making it home around 2:30 in the morning, and we wake up relatively early to start our next adventure. So let me take you through Friday. Friday morning, the hotel does offer breakfast, which was nice. What became a norm for us for our hotel morning breakfast was sliced meat and cheeses. They also had an omelet station, so we requested eggs to be cooked with cheese and some sausage. That's really what filled us up. I knew that this was our opportunity to fill up and energize for the day ahead, because I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I knew we were gonna have an adventure, I knew we were gonna be surrounded with amazing people, and I knew we were bound to have fun. I just didn't know when we were gonna eat. So following breakfast, a big group of us went over to finally exchange our monies, and now we finally had a means of paying for additional expenses, including food. That day, we took the opportunity to go to La Chorrera del Indio, and it was beautiful. We took a taxi cab. It was great. The taxi driver even went off-road to get to our final destination. It was a dirt path to make it up the hill to the river, and that's where we spent majority of the day. We jumped in the cold river water. There was a slide there, there's a waterfall. It was just so much fun. Just to spend some quality time with friends and spend some time with the bride and groom. When we were just about done at spending time here at the river, we ended up calling our cab driver, and it would be an hour before they would pick us up, which is no problem. There's a restaurant on site. We've got some money now, and we are ready to grab some food to go. And it was just another order of beef steak. There was nothing else. It was just meat. And it was enough to satiate us to get back home. Later that evening, we had a rehearsal dinner, and it was another beautiful experience. We actually went to an Italian restaurant with the entire wedding party. The dish that I chose to eat that evening was a grilled chicken topped with ham, and on the side it came with a marinara pasta. So I did not get to enjoy that. I just stuck to what I knew was best for me. So it was a really fun evening. Got to see some live music. Again, got to really celebrate the bride and groom with their families. And it was just a nice wrap up to that day. So let me take you through Saturday's event. Now, Saturday was extra special. This was the wedding day. So We started our day with breakfast, and the rest of the morning and early afternoon was dedicated to getting ready and preparing for that evening's ceremony and festivities. So when we got to the wedding venue, you guys, it was amazing. There was dancers, there was fire, there was lights. It was really incredible. So kudos to the bride and groom for really taking the time in crafting such a beautiful environment. Not a single detail was missed. And so again, I feel very lucky and very fortunate to help celebrate them on their big day and partake in this celebration. As we sat down at our tables, dinner was going to be served in 3 courses. Looking over the menu, you guys, all of it sounded amazing, but I came to a point where I really struggled with a decision I had to make. Now remember, just to recap, we really didn't have an opportunity to eat that much throughout the couple of days. I didn't even mention this, but in Colombia, water isn't free. You always have to buy bottles of water where it's available. And for us, as we're traveling, it's a little difficult to carry bottles of water with us. I know we were not as hydrated as we normally are. I don't drink a gallon of water a day. Of course, that's my goal, and I try to stay as close to that as possible, but I knew I wasn't drinking enough water, and neither was my boyfriend. So we were already feeling dehydrated, not enough energy because of the lack of food that we've been able to eat. When we ate, I don't feel like it was enough as what I would normally eat, and that's nobody's fault but my own. So I think just because I wasn't sure when we were gonna eat next, what options were available. At this moment in time, I kind of struggled. I was like, do I eat now and feel the aftermath of introducing so many different new foods at one time? Or do I not eat anything and eat what I can, but knowing it's not enough and feeling the aftermath of being low on energy? Will I pass out? All these things were running through my mind. Just taking a step back and really talking to my boyfriend, and it's really nice to have this kind of support, especially when you're in a hard circumstance like this. We really just leveled with each other and admitted that, hey, if we don't eat now, it's too much of a risk to know what the repercussions are if we don't, rather than just suffering the consequences of whatever may happen next. And that's what we did. And I want to give you guys some support as well. Maybe you guys have come across a similar situation. Maybe you've intentionally decided to veer away from the carnivore diet guidelines and have something that you know you shouldn't. And I'm here to tell you it's okay. I don't want to make you... It's okay. You shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't beat yourself up for it. You shouldn't feel like an imposter. These were things I had to tell myself, because regardless of what happened that evening, it wasn't going to change my way of eating moving forward past this day. It was a really tough circumstance. I did feel like I was in a situation where I had no control, but to be honest, to not fuel myself with something I felt like was gonna be a mistake. So I enjoyed it, at least. It was all delicious. So here are some snippets of what was served. Mind you, I did not have any of the vegetables. So the asparagus, the taco salad, even the rice, I didn't find myself eating too much of that, but I really did enjoy the roast beef, the chicken that was served. It's probably hard to see that in one of the clips. Having to remind myself that I need to film things for YouTube, it's really out of my element and not first nature, so I don't have video evidence of it, but it was a really delicious hangover soup. I need to find the recipe and create this myself, but I believe it was a chicken soup, and it also had organs in it too. Full disclosure, I don't like liver, but there was liver in there, there was chicken necks, I think there were chicken hearts. There was chicken feet. It was so good. It was a perfect way to end the evening, and we did not go to bed till 4 in the morning, so God bless us. Let me tell you what the immediate effects were following what I ate. When I woke up the next day on Sunday, I immediately felt bloated. I felt like I was hungover. Everyone around me truly had a hangover, but I too felt like I participated in that experience. I felt dizzy. I had a huge, horrible headache. I don't know if that was attributed to the dehydration or if it was attributed to the foods I was eating. It was really hard to tell. So sleep was the only thing I could do. And when we woke up, there was breakfast being served. So it was scrambled eggs with pieces of ham in it. It was so good. We had 2 plates of that. And as we enjoyed the pool day and tried to recoup, later that afternoon, we were served arroz con pollo, and they also served soups. It was delicious, and I enjoyed it. We did a last hurrah dinner with the bride and groom and the rest of the wedding party, and we went to a steakhouse, and it was so good. I loved it. I wish we would have known about this place from day one, because I'm telling you, we would have been there every single day. But we had a meat platter, and it was everything that I wanted. At least I felt good about trying to get back on track immediately, where I had some control of it. We had a quick nap that evening before we left on a bus that would take us from 3 a.m. at the hotel back to Cali's airport. So our first flight was at 6 a.m. We landed in Florida about 1:30 in the afternoon, and by the time we went to pick up the bride and groom and grab our things and pick up our car, it was 6 o'clock before we actually departed from Miami back to our home state. But we made it back safely, and we arrived on Tuesday at 6:30 in the morning. Monday's trip was really difficult because we didn't eat until around 6 p.m., which is when we started our trip back home. And I also don't think that helped us either, not having a consistent schedule of when to eat, what to eat, how much to eat. I can tell you, as I had so much fun, I enjoyed it. I'm so glad we got to be there for our friends, but I'm also very happy to be home. A few other side effects I felt coming back from the trip. So as I mentioned, I was bloated, I felt dizzy, I felt tired, I felt hungover. That feeling lasted longer than I expected. My legs were also sore. I definitely needed more electrolytes. I was very tired. I was in a very terrible mood. I don't think I even covered that on here. Again, just no energy for anything. So a couple of things that I did to get back on track. Number one, I noticed my eating schedule was off course, so I wanted to get back into a routine. I also noticed I wasn't eating as much as when I did before we began our first leg of the trip. I'm just gonna respond to what my body needs. Aside from that, I wanted to make sure that I drank enough water. Something about drinking a lot of water and flushing out all those toxins gave me a peace of mind. So another encouragement to reaching that 1 gallon goal per day. I also wanted to step back into exercising on a consistent basis. So my first day back, or my second day back, I should say, after resting from our return trip, I did a 3-mile walk. I just wanted to move my body, do everything I could to release toxins, and just sticking back to my way of eating. I knew what I was eating, went outside of the diet, and again, I have no remorse over that decision. It also came with the fact that I needed to, again, go through this transition. It's been over a solid week now that I've been home, been able to transition back into this way of eating immediately. And so I'm still dealing with the aftermath of cravings, but I am just relying on, the purpose as to why I'm doing this, to keep pushing forward. I'm not gonna let past decisions make me feel bad about what I've done or make me feel bad about continuing. If anything, it's a good reminder as to why I choose to continue eating this way. But going backwards for a night definitely reminded me of all the negative feelings I had on a standard American diet. Anyway, I just wanted to share my experience with you guys and give you an honest look through what situations we faced, all the fun events we went through, and I want to wish my friends a happily ever after, if you will. All right, guys, thank you so much for staying with me on this journey. I look forward to sharing more content with you guys. So until next time, I will see you then.